up your heart. It is time to love one another. It's time to take heart. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. Source of love that radiates, warming up our cold nights, support and comfort, support and comfort. Cascades flowing down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their hearts, with love in their hearts. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in our Lord. The solution lies in our Lord. Oh, my mother Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessings. Make your small son a good Christian. Make your small son a good Christian. Oh, Jesus, here I am, my knees on the floor, to say thank you, my Lord, for the lives that come through this door. Your love is the key. Change the entire world. Using these chains wisely, we will live in and harmony. Now I understand. Helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all these transformations, we just have to put love in action.
Someone told me long ago that life is just a long road. Sorry, mate, but life to me is way much more. No matter what it seems to be, it's always time to make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build a bridge over troubled waters, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face, love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more sorrows, no more bad days, no more cries, no more dark hope place, no more fear, no more fight. Someone told me long ago that life is just a long road. Sorry, babe, but life to me is way much more. No matter what it seems to be, it's always time to make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build a bridge over troubled water, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face, love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more sorrow, no more bad days, no more cries, no more dark hope place, no more fear, no more fight. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face, love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more sorrow, no more bad days, no more cries, no more dark hope place, no more fear, no more fight. Let the sun on the way shine, shine. Let the sun of the way shine, 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 shine.
Never lose your faith in the brightness of
good of getting together. It's always good to do the good. I do believe the world can be better, and I know that you believe it too. Papa, Mama, brothers and sisters, let's get ready for a new dawn. This is the time for those big changes we have all been waiting for so long. Listen to this call, the time is right now. Here is the place, so let's move in a faster pace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace. It's always good of getting together. It's always good to do the good. I do believe the world can be better, and I know that you believe it too. Papa, Mama, brothers and sisters, let's get ready for a new dawn. This is the time for those big changes we have all been waiting for so long. Listen to this call, the time is right now. Here is the place, so let's move in a faster pace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace. Listen to this call, the time is right now. Here is the place, so let's move in a faster pace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our public meeting. We'd like to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Before we start, we'd like to make some announcements. Turn off your phone notification if it's possible. Please find a quiet place, and our format meeting is 30 minutes presentation, 10 minutes Q&A, and after spiritual treatment. For the spiritual treatment, set aside a container with water to be magnetized. Tonight, our meeting, we have to announce something too. We are almost finishing our school, our Get to Know Spiritism that happen every Saturday, 5:15 EDT. And next Saturday, we'll have the topic Charity and the Spiritist Center. Everybody is welcome to go stay with us and learn a little bit about Spiritism. We'd like to announce too that you can follow us in our Facebook, Fraternal Group Canada. You can find us in YouTube, Spiritism Canada. Also, the Pathway of Light and the Facebook Pathway of Life and the Spiritism Pathway of Light 2 and Instagram. So I'd like to invite everybody for our opening prayer. And for this, I'd like to ask you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable. And for some minutes, think about Jesus Christ, our Master, and asking Him the permission to start our prayer tonight. And also, Master, we'd like to say thank you for the opportunity to be here between friends, good spirits that stay with us. Allow, Master, we start our meeting tonight. Be with us. Be it. So, tonight, our topic is going to be the mission of the intelligent person on earth. Chapter 7, Blessed are the poor in spirits. Item 13. So, before we start, remember our meeting is retransmitted on the Concafras Continental America, the Facebook. You can find us in the Spiritist Canada YouTube and Facebook, and also on Wednesdays. Sorry, and also in Wednesdays you can retransmitted by Kardec Radio Facebook and Kardec Radio YouTube. 5 p.m. PDT, 7 p.m. CDT, and 8 p.m. EDT. Everybody is welcome to participate with us. Well, tonight we have a special person coming to talk to us to spread the word of Jesus Christ. It's going to be our sister Veronica from Winnipeg. And Veronica, welcome to our meeting. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Publio. Hello, hello, dear friends. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for listening to our study today. And today we are going to study the final section of chapter 7 from the Gospel According to Spiritism, called "Blessed are the Poor in Spirit." And this section is part of the Spiritist teachings. It's brought by a spirit called Ferdinand, and is entitled "The Mission of the Intelligent Person on Earth." So this section, it's one page in the Gospel, but it has so many lessons that we can feel how close it is from our lives and how it relates so well with things we go through. So the title has two words, right? Two key things we have to understand. So the first thing is mission and the intelligent person. So who is the intelligent person on earth? Who is this intelligent person? And the intelligent person is everyone, is all of us that are incarnated on earth. We are all intelligent because in terms of our evolution, we as human beings, we have intelligence. And we might say on earth in our lives that there are people that we can recognize as more intelligent than others, but we all possess this quality, which is the ability to reflect on things we experience, things we see, things we live in our lives, and make judgment on our actions. And many times we make even judgment about other people's actions as well. So intelligence is this ability that we have to find solutions, to think about problems and try to find solution for those, and trying to understand emotions, feelings of others. So it all relates to intelligence. And Um, Science today describes different types of intelligences as well. So traditionally, we had that cognitive intelligence, which is the intelligence that we have to read and understand a text, to use equations and be good at math or other sciences. There are other types of intelligences as well. For example, some people are more intelligent in understanding other people's feelings. So there's an emotional intelligence. Some people have a social intelligence. People are better suited to relate to others and live together. Others have more difficulty. So intelligence is a very broad definition as well, but it is an attribute of the spirit of human beings, and we all have a certain level of intelligence that we gain as part of our uh, is part of ourselves, and we develop that as we reincarnate and we go through different experiences. So we have to think about intelligence not something only something that we develop in this present existence, but also think uh, about all the experiences we gained through our lives, our previous lives. The other word is about mission. So the word mission here uh, relates to, okay, so what is this mission, right? So mission seems to be some special task, right? An assignment where as we were a special agent that we have to do something very special. But mission are responsibilities, commitments that we made while we were living in the spiritual realm before we reincarnate. And we committed in being taking these tasks in completing them. So it is kind of a sort of assignment, but not necessarily has to be something extraordinary. When we think about mission, we think that's something big, something complex, something difficult, something special that no one else can do it. But missions are tasks that we committed in doing because we know when we are discarnated as spirits that completion of these tasks are important for our evolvement as spirits, for our progress. And these missions could be a specific type of work that we committed in doing in our existence. For example, if we are going to become a doctor and we are going to study hard and we are going to save lives, or perhaps we are going to be teachers that are going to uh, help youth and children, many youth and children during our existence. Perhaps we committed to be a politician, somebody that is going to make changes, big changes in society. Perhaps our mission is be a parent to children that we own uh, sometimes gratitude, we owe them assistance for a new life, a new reincarnation. So mission can be very in many different ways, and usually we come with different sets of tasks and missions that we have to accomplish. So all of us, no matter the level of intelligence or where we live, how we grow, and the conditions we live, this existence, we have these missions, these tasks. So this is what this chapter is about. And what the Spirit Ferdinand tell us is that although we all have intelligence and we are intelligent human beings, we should not pride ourselves on what we know, because such knowing, the knowledge we have, has very narrow limits in the world on which we live. So the Spirit is giving us a heads up that the fact that we might seem an intelligent person doesn't really mean much when we go beyond Earth. So our knowledge, our intelligence is mostly limited to the nature of our planet. So there are many things that we don't know. And if we think about that, then we start to think that we know nothing, right? So so he tells us to not be proud of that, right? Not be uh, proud of it. And he goes further explaining that God is the one who actually gave us the conditions to develop our intelligence in this existence. So God enabled us to be born in an environment that help us to develop our intelligence. So in the past, it was thought that intelligence was something genetic determined, right? So we are born with certain genes, and these are the great, they are good, they are favorable or not for us to develop intelligence. But we know today that the environment has a very strong influence in the way how we develop intelligence. So when they say here that God enable us to live to live in a condition that helps our intelligence, that could not be so true. So our families, the place where we live, even the way the availability of a good diet can help us to develop intelligence, right? And being able to acquire knowledge, experience different things, that all help us to develop our intelligence. So, but it says further, right? An important thing here that if God allows us to develop our intelligence, it is because God expects us to use that intelligence not only for ourselves, but the, God expects us of using this intelligence to employ our intelligence to do good to all. So, although intelligence might be an individual asset, it is meant to be used to the good of everyone around us. And we can see many examples on Earth if we think about who discovered light, electricity, who developed airplanes, right? People who make extraordinary inventions that made our life better to all, better to everyone. So we can see examples of how human beings can use intelligence to benefit society in general. So the mission, going back to the mission. So as I said earlier, mission is not something extraordinary that we need superpowers, but these are tasks that we are capable of doing because we committed beforehand of doing it. So intelligence is part of this condition to allow us to complete our mission in this existence. So the mission, it is a mission. If we are intelligent or if we are possess some sort of knowledge, it is our mission that was given to us, and because we can use this knowledge to help others, right? And what the Spirit Ferdinand says here to us is that the intelligence is an instrument in our hands that we can help other individuals, other people that sometimes lag intelligence or are behind, in order to help them to actually to also seek and move towards God, right? To lead people towards God. So in this case, intelligence is a tool that we can use to improve our lives and the life of our neighbors. So now the question is, so we have knowledge, we have intelligence, but what is my mission? Right? Because we made a plan before we incarnated, and most of us don't remember that. And how can we know what our mission is? And the Spirit of Ferdinand makes a nice analogy that we can use to understand and maybe get a better idea about our mission. And he gives this example of the nature of the instrument. So he says that the instrument, if we look at an instrument, the instrument itself is an indication what is meant to do. So it gives an example of a hoe. So if a gardener, a master gardener, give a hoe to a helper, the helper will know that they have to use that hoe to farm, to treat the soil, to work the soil, right? For farming or for gardening. So the tool tells exactly what the helper is supposed to do. So the same is with our intelligence. If we have skills, if we have abilities that make some tasks easier, and we have some things go easy to us. So some people learn languages, many languages very easily, and for some others are very difficult. So we have this special skill that not necessarily was developed in this existence, but from previous experiences, but is part of us. So that indicates what we are good at, and that indicates what we should use as a tool to improve ourselves and to help others around us. So the whole here is like our intelligence. Our intelligence is like a whole. But then he goes further and tells, what if the helper, instead of working the soil, right, the ground, and cleaning up the weeds and preparing the soil, what if the helper, instead of working, raise the hoe in order to strike their master, use the hoe as a weapon? So we'll probably say, oh, that helper doesn't deserve anything. That's pretty bad. So it deserves to be dismissed. We should not keep this helper because he is not using the tool correctly. He's harming people, right? So that's what we would say to the helper, about the helper who is farming. But this is the same case when we look at the use of our intelligence to do good or bad things. So those who use the intelligence to destroy the idea of God and providence amongst their neighbors is the same as the helper who is using the hoe to harm people. So it's harming the master. So we are harming when we don't use our intelligence appropriately. We are almost like harming also God, who gave us the conditions for us to develop our intelligence. So it's the same as race against our master, their master, the whole that was given to them to treat the soil. So in that case, the intelligence, which was an attribute of the spirit, which is attribute that we develop over reincarnations and we can use to do good, it starts to be used to do bad. And then what is going to happen, right? For the worker who has used the tool, the gardening tool, as a weapon, they will not receive their wages, right? It's fair to say that it's not right for them to have their wages, and they deserve to be expelled from the garden instead. And what the Spirit of Ferdinand is telling us, that is the same direction of events that are going to happen for those who don't use the intelligence appropriately. Because we talk about examples of people using their intelligence to create beautiful, extraordinary things that help so many people, right? But there are many people who use their intelligence to deceive others, to have personal interests achieved, right? They don't think about others. Sometimes they cause prejudice, and that's a bad way of using intelligence. And the Spirit Ferdinand is warning us that we should not doubt that these people will be expelled, and they will be walking through miserable lives full of humiliation until they bow before one who they own everything. So he's alerting us that suffering and pain is the path for those who don't use our if we don't use our qualities appropriately. And he used very tough words like being expelled and living miserable lives, because for every bad action we do, there is a reaction that we receive in the same amount, right? So we need, when we make a mistake and we use our intelligence maybe for to take personal advantages or how to harm people, there are consequences we have to deal with, and we have to recover, right? We have to fix. And that's what he says. But even this pain, even the suffering, is clear here that is temporary, right? Until they bow before, until we recognize that God has created in conditions to develop our abilities to be better people, and God expects us to use that in favor to others, right? As part of creation, as our role in co-creating a better world for everyone. So now intelligence then is a rich merit for the future. So we can, if we use, employ it rightly. So if we can use our abilities to make great things, to make good things, and we'll have merit in the future to get the benefits from it. But unfortunately, many people make intelligence an instrument of pride and perdition for themselves. So many people think they are more intelligent than others, and because of that, they might humiliate others that might look less intelligent cognitively, right? And in that sense, we kind of fall through the cracks when we don't use our abilities. And the Spirit already, Ferdinand already said right at the beginning, we should not be proud of our intelligence because it's very limited. So we abuse of our intelligence like any other faculties. And there are many lessons in the real world where we see sometimes people who look like very fortunate to have a very good in material ways, a very good life, but they can suddenly from one day to the other lose everything. So it is even the conditions that we are able to live here today and develop our intelligence, they are temporary and very limited to the present existence. And interesting also, Jesus in the Sermon of the Mountain, he never said that blessed are the intelligent, right? He says, blessed are the poor, blessed the poor of spirit, blessed are the meek, blessed are those who suffer, blessed are those who are starved for truth. So, but never blessed are the ones who are intelligent, because intelligence, although it is an attribute that we can use, a tool we can use to develop, it could also be a source of pride and blind us in the way we should live and use that tool to make good. Now, and then I brought here an example how we should go about then using our intelligence, right? And I brought here a passage of John, the passage where Jesus washed the disciples' feet, right? And Jesus says, I am their Lord and your teacher, and I am here watching your feet, right? So if if Jesus, who is the teacher, who is the Lord, is washing the disciples' feet, is the lesson for them that they should wash each other's feet as well. And Jesus goes further and say, no servant is greater than his master, nor a messenger greater than the one who sent them. So Jesus there gives the example that our current existence and the conditions we are live are temporary. And it shows that today we are servants, but maybe in another life we'll be the masters. And when we have these changes of roles that not necessarily represent moral or intelligence in terms of development of intelligence or moral, that changes the way how we see who is higher or who is lower. So, and he ends the lesson, Jesus ends the lesson saying, now that you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them. So Jesus is not only talking about the teaching, right? About knowing, but he's talking about doing. So you are blessed not if you know, you are blessed if you go and practice what you know. And the Spirit Manual talks about this passage saying that there is a big difference between knowing and doing. Nearly everybody knows, right? We study a lot, we know everything, we could know many things, but only few actually do, right? We are caught on doing and putting in practice what we know. And the spiritual manual then describes that John wisely, the Apostle John, wisely points out the Master's lesson. Only those who actually practice the Lord's teachings can be blessed. And in that, he ends the message saying that in the area of Christian service lies the difference between learning and practice, between knowing and doing. So there is a step there between knowing and doing. So intelligence not necessarily will reflect our ability to put that knowledge in practice. And we have to work on that. And the the idea is that we just to finish our talk for today, we always talk about the way how we can achieve perfection. I'm sorry, the way how we can achieve our perfection as spirits is through developing two wings that will help us to reach God, to reach the Creator. So it has been said that these two wings are love and wisdom. Wisdom is intelligence. Love is the practice of virtues, right? So if we need these two wings, we cannot with only one wing. If we develop only intelligence, we don't have a good flight. We'll be impaired, right? And if we only develop love as well, we won't get a good flight up to reach our Creator either. So hence the imperative that intelligence and goodness march together. So it is imperative that we develop these two attributes in our spirit. Study and service are inevitable routes in the work of elevation. So studying and knowledge and developing our intelligence in the way we can in our present existence and through our existence is a necessity of the spirit. So is to develop our ability to love one another, to develop virtues such as patience, faith, and these can strengthen our other wing in order for us to reach. So the message of today's gospel about the mission of the intelligent person is to all of us, because we are all intelligent human beings, and we can use our intelligence to the best of our abilities to do good. And that will help us to develop our second wing as well. And and this is what the gospel are telling us in terms of believing that in understanding that our abilities are enough to go through our mission in this existence. So I'm going to end here the talk. I thank you everyone for your time, and I think I have to bring Publio. Are you back?
Yes, I'm back, and I'd like to say thank you, Veronica, because this topic is very, very interesting. I was thinking here, oh my God, what I'm doing, the things that I know, I'm doing good or not, and I put a question there, but there are more questions. So first of all, thank you very much. You were very clear explaining these words brought by the spirits through Allan Kardec. Was very, very interesting message. And now I keep like I'm afraid what I'm doing with things that I know
I'm
I'm
afraid
doing,
too.
I'm doing good or I'm not doing good. So the first question I did by myself, I'm gonna ask you after. There's more question. Like I know you talk a little bit about, but the question is, let me put that question here. What's the consequence in this incarnation or another if we use our intelligence to do bad things? Like
Yeah.
because we can see a lot of brilliant minds doing brilliant things, but not for the good. So what happened? So a lot of people think, okay, there's no consequence. Oh, why? He's intelligent. He's making money. That's it. Life finished
Mhm.
and finished. What's the consequence? Tell us, please.
Yeah. Well, first thing, sometimes we think life is not fair, right? When we see people making wrongdoings and not being caught and still having a better life, and we try to live a straight on the straight path, and we are not we are not we are we are just being like hit right by a truck or something. But um, it's just the way how divine providence works is on the time of divine providence and God, right? The timing is God's timing, it's not our timing. So sometimes we think, oh, we don't see justice, but we don't see justice at this exact moment, right? And our view is still too narrow in terms of time to foresee the future or see the consequences many times. And we should not be caught by that because sometimes wrongdoings of others, we have no control over that, or it's not up to us to do what is fair or what they deserve, but it is a job for God, right? That is more just than we are. So we should not be caught by that, but we should be very we should spend time about our own wrongdoings, right? And many times we do mistakes, right? We use our intelligence sometimes to persuade people to do what we want, and not necessarily that's good to others, or we make bad choices. But if we can realize that, we will have to fix the mistakes, right? And we can fix the mistakes now or in the future. But
That
that will happen at some time. And that's what the Spirit Ferdinand is saying, right? He's saying that people who make bad choices about the use of their intelligence, they will suffer they walk a painful path until they can redeem themselves, right? So the sooner we do this, the better, right? If we are not
so,
using our intelligence appropriately.
so this complete my answer because sometimes we see people doing things there and nothing happened, but nothing happened in this incarnation can be in the next one or the next one. As soon he realized that he did a bad thing, he can
Yeah,
start fixing, let's say, fixing what he did in the past.
yeah,
So that's the reason we see many different suffering in the world, like why those people suffering so much angry or so much hungry? What the reason they don't have anything to eat, even though they live in the beautiful place? So this is one of the explanation that Ferdinand said he's gonna see the consequence in another opportunity, in another life.
Yeah.
Very good, Veronica. I really like the answer, and I'm very pleased
Yeah.
to hear from you those teachings. But we
Yeah.
didn't finish. I have one more question here.
Okay.
Actually, I have more than one. Would Jesus' gospel be a good measure for us to know if we are using our intelligence to provide evolution to ourselves and those around us? This is from Rodrigo Gomez from Ottawa.
Um, well, we can think about how we are using our intelligence, right? If we are using our ability, our intellectual abilities to do good, to do beauty, and that is not harming anyone, that's a good sign we are using our intelligence in a good way as well. But we could also say that, well, I'm not using my intelligence to do bad to others, but I'm not doing good either, but I'm not doing bad. So is that okay? And that's the same in having the instrument, right? Having a hole and put that on the side, getting rusted and not being used, right? So in the lessons of that Jesus brought to us that are in the gospel, we always see that the love that Jesus taught us is an active love. It's not a love that you'll be sitting down adoring in adoration to God, right? It is an active love where we have to help others. We have to actively being serving our neighbors. And that's what the disciples did in their entire life on earth, right? They were not just sitting down reading the scriptures or Jesus' teachings and being there in adoration in temples. They were actively helping the poor. So that is what the gospel teaches. If we can use our intelligence to all the best of our abilities to promote this uh, the good to others, then yes, that's the lesson we need, right? That we have to mirror from the gospel.
Okay, the last one is a is not a question, but it's a very good comment from one of our people that is listening the talk tonight. We need to do our best. We need to do the best that we can with the resource that we have, including abilities and intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
The analogy with the whole was awesome. Thank you for the talk today, tonight, Veronica. This came from Larissa from London.
Yes.
And
Thanks to the Spirit Ferdinand who brought the example of the whole, right? For sure. Yes.
yeah, we'd like to say thank you very, very much for coming and bringing all those reflections, all those lessons. I know it's not from you, from Ferdinando, from the spirits, but
Thank you.
you use your intelligence to bring them for us. We'd like to say thank you very,
Hopefully.
very much for bringing them. Have a
Thank
good
you,
time.
everyone. Have a good night, everyone. See you next time.
See you. So now we're gonna move for the preparation for tonight's spiritual treatment. So, what is spiritual treatment? It's a pass. Pass is a transfusion of spiritual energy, assisting our physical, emotional, and mental balance. To best benefit from the spiritual treatment, please follow the guide audio instruction or remain in prayer. You may close your eyes to help with the mentalization. So we're gonna proceed the magnetized water. That means put your water in the receive. That is going to get receiving reeling energy for your body and soul, which your family and you can be benefited from. So let's start in. We're going to do a prayer. That's going to be our prayer for spiritual treatment, and also is a final prayer. So I'd like to invite everybody in this instant to close your eyes and think about Jesus Christ. In this moment, say thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to be here and be clarified for those teachings coming from the spirits, the good spirits, that helping us understand how important to use our intelligence and how important is to put in practice what we learned. Master, allow the good spirits to come to us tonight and help us to cure our body and our soul. Be with us today and forever. Thank you.
Let us now prepare ourselves for the moment of the passes and the magnetization of water. Let's now calm our hearts, breathing in and out. Pay attention to your body. Focus on your breath and let yourself be carried by this energy. Let your thoughts pass by without judging them. Let them flow. Allow this light to be the beacon that guides you, and allow these words to penetrate your energy. Make each word an anchor of gratitude, faith, and trust. With the purpose of healing, which takes away my faith, healing every feeling of separation, of pain, let it all dissolve in this moment, leaving only love, gratitude, and trust. We ask God for the presence of our guardian angel and the friendly spirits who welcome us into this enlightened environment of our Spiritist Center. We open our plexus of love and forgiveness by mentalizing a light surrounding our hearts. Find a quiet and comfortable place to begin the mentalization process. Remove all worries from your thoughts. We ask that during the pass you breathe slowly and deeply. Let your body relax and surrender yourself to a deep meditation. Calmly imagine divine energies in soft and colorful light surrounding you in an environment of peace and spiritual warmth. Entrusting God with your most intimate desires, raise your thoughts to Jesus and the emissaries of the spiritual environment. The pass begins with the cleansing of your soul. Imagine a waterfall of crystal clear water pouring over us, removing all the feelings that keep you away from faith and trust. Feel the energy of this water bathing you and deeply breathe in, feeling peace and harmony. Allow this water to wash away all the impurities and spiritual larvae, washing away all the sorrows and resentments, any feelings of hatred and revenge that hold us back and cause us harm, not only from this life, but past ones as well. Now visualize spiritual doctors around you, applying magnetic cleansing passes, sanitizing your spiritual body of all sadness and negative energy. Mentalize these negative thoughts and feelings being washed away, evaporating from your soul, like water evaporating into thin air, and being carried far away from your mind. Surround yourself with the faith that bathes your being, bringing clarity and lucidity, rebalancing every cell in your body. May the water envelop all pain and bring the clarity of opportunity that chooses peace. The answer arises in our hearts, freeing us from all evil and freeing all whom we have caused evil into and who have caused us evil, washing away all the connections that bind us. Even though we may not understand, we are freeing ourselves from all that causes us harm. Feel this cleansing penetrate your soul and release. Now that we are spiritually cleansed, imagine yourself surrounded by the light of love from the hands of Jesus. At this moment, sing words of faith and gratitude, being faithful to the light that exists in me, planted by the zealous Father. Imagine the sunlight that surrounds and enraptures, freeing us from the chains of everything that holds us down, strengthening your faith. Allow yourself to trust in this light, surrender to it, involved in pleasant feelings and feeling relieved to receive the strengthening lights. Mentalize your spiritual mentors now applying divine light for the strengthening of your mind and your emotions, leaving you feeling emotionally revitalized. Let us now mentalize the magnetization of this water. May we mentalize all the friendly spirits, magnetizing this water and filling it with everything that our bodies, minds, and soul need, so that it may be of help to us when we drink it after the Pass. Thank you, God.
So we'd like to say thank you everyone to participate this meeting tonight. Invite you to be with us next week, and everybody have a very good night, and God bless us today and forever. See you next week.
Sometimes it's not so easy. Sometimes it's not so close. Sometimes we build our dreams, but then we see them decompose. When you feel down the dumps, feeling sad and blue, give life a chance, my friend, the sun will shine again on you. Believe you can come through. The rainy days are true. Have little faith in you. Maybe tomorrow you can dream all your dreams again. Though some sorrow remains, it doesn't mean the end. Believe you can come through. The rainy days are true. Sometimes okay to feel blue. Have little faith in you. dream on the dreams again. Though some sorrow remains, your dreams can get you through. Have little faith,